Kira Coburn. I guess I support medical marijuana because I don't know where to look. Okay, I use it because I have a couple of disorders that cause really debilitating pain and kind of prevent me from being able to live fulfillingly. I have something called reflex sympathetic dystrophy or complex regional pain syndrome, and it's kind of like your nerve cells don't really respond appropriately to stimulation, so they think everything is pain, and it is just extremely painful, and it causes swelling and all that stuff, and it's just not fun. And then medical marijuana helps it a lot because this is a degenerative condition, so it has a neuroprotectant and the neurorestorative. So not only does it help with pain, but it helps everything get better. When I was younger, I was in a wheelchair because my pain was so bad. I had broken a bone and it just never healed right, and so I was in a wheelchair. And then I was told because of my condition, I'm never probably going to be able to walk again. Once you're in a wheelchair, you don't usually get out of it. And then I got a little bit older, and I started smoking, and I just was better, and I could walk and stuff, and everything was really great. And now I walk. I use a cane, but I still walk, and yeah.
So my name is Gabriel Saya. I'm with the Drug Policy Alliance and Compassionate Care New York. Thanks for coming out this morning. We're here because we're asking Governor Cuomo to grant the holiday wish of so many families here in New York, which is to provide emergency access to medical marijuana. We have a lot of families here today, children, patients who can benefit from the use of marijuana. Yesterday, the governor issued the regulations for the program. There was nothing in those regulations that will provide immediate relief to these families. And so they've come out today in the cold, they've come out today in the frigid weather to tell their story and to ask the governor to have compassion, to do the right thing, and to grant their holiday wish of providing emergency access. I'm going to open up now with Marion Hauser and her daughter Amanda. They're from Suffern, New York. And Amanda has Dravet syndrome. It's a severe form of intractable epilepsy. And she actually stood next to Governor Cuomo when he signed the medical marijuana law. He had the Hauser family with him, but today Amanda still does not have the medicine that she needs.
Hi, my name is Amanda. This year I asked Santa for everything, but more than anything, me and other kids with seizures wish to have medical marijuana so we can stop our seizures. Yes, I want to get this. Yes, I want to. Yes, I got it.
Can we give Amanda a round of applause? So Amanda just read a letter, and we have a bunch of letters that we're going to deliver after the press conference to the governor's office.
Hi, my name is Marion Hauser. This is my daughter Amanda, obviously. We live in Suffern, which is in Rockland County. Amanda suffers from Dravet syndrome. It's a rare epileptic disorder that causes her to have severe seizures varying in frequency. We felt very privileged for Amanda to stand alongside Governor Cuomo as he signed the medical marijuana program into law. We also felt relief because we thought this would mean Amanda would finally get the treatment that she desperately needs. After more than 5 months and the deaths of at least 3 children waiting for medical marijuana access, I'm very sad to say that Amanda is struggling badly with her seizures, and there's still no end in sight. Amanda recently had her first seizure in school, a major seizure. We were hoping that day would never come when Amanda's classmates would have to see her that way. We were hoping that access to medical marijuana would help her. As any concerned parents would do, we are seeking out every potential option we have with her seizures. We got accepted into a clinical trial, and we jumped on this opportunity. However, it's not in New York, it's in Boston, so we will travel 4 hours to get her this access. What I don't understand is why Governor Cuomo is driving New York families out of our state. New York is supposed to be the most progressive capital of the country. We are supposed to be leading the way. It is my worst fear as a parent that my child will be next. That's it. Thank you.
Should any family have to worry about losing their child this holiday season? No! Should any family be forced to leave New York to get their medicine? No! Should anybody have to suffer through a pain when they know that medicine is there that can relieve and help their children? No! That's right. Dr. Barboda is a physician and a parent to a child with Dravet syndrome.
Good morning. My name is Amy Peperato. I live with my family in Thiels and I practice medicine in West Haverstraw, New York. I'm here today because my 4-year-old son has epilepsy, and I'm appalled that New Yorkers do not yet have legal access to medical marijuana. The Compassionate Care Act was signed by the governor in July. In the past 5 months, not one patient has been able to register. There are no registration forms available. Not one physician has undergone the mandatory training outlined by the law. The program is not in place, and not one cultivator has been given the green light to start growing. To add insult to injury, the federal government recently denied a petition to allow us to get this medication from states where it's legal. Do you know what has happened in those 5 months? New York children have died from seizures and cancer. My son Vincent had his first seizure when he was 3 months old. What came next was an awful set of firsts no parent should ever have to face. First 911 call, first ambulance ride, first spinal tap, first EEG, and first anti-epileptic medication. After 4 hospitalizations with seizures lasting over 20 minutes, we got the test results indicating that Vincent has Dravet syndrome. He was 6 months old. With high doses of 2 different anti-epileptic drugs, there was a 13-month period with no seizures. The trade-off was significant side effects. Side effects no parent would ever wish on a child, except when the alternative is even more horrifying. Then he stopped sweating and would overeat easily. His speech was delayed, making it frustrating to communicate, and his appetite was almost non-existent, which threatened his physical development. After 13 months and 1 day, there was another seizure. Since that time, Vincent has averaged 1 seizure a month. We were forced to start a 3rd anti-epileptic drug with a whole new list of potentially devastating side effects. We never know when a seizure is going to hit, and every seizure is an emergency that carries the risk of stealing hard-won developmental gains or worse. That uncertainty is the hardest part of epilepsy. Up to 50,000 Americans die each year from epilepsy, and at least 3 children in New York have died from seizures since Governor Cuomo signed the Compassionate Care Act. What could possibly convey a greater sense of urgency than having a child's life hang in the balance? As a parent, I'm angry at anyone standing in the way of meaningful access to this plant. A plant that has no more and often fewer side effects than the current FDA-approved drugs used as anti-seizure medications. As a doctor, I'm actually hopeful, as the more I read, the more I see the tremendous potential benefits of adding cannabis to our medication arsenal. My holiday wish is for Governor Cuomo to provide New Yorkers with immediate access to medical cannabis. Please, let's not wait for even one more death. Thank you.
I've lived for over 20 years with HIV, and I know that's only possible because activists fought so hard to get access to medical marijuana, to vital medications when the government was not moving fast enough. These medications made it possible for me to watch my kids grow up and make me a grandmother. As an activist, a mother, and a grandmother, I will not stand by and watch another child suffer and die because politics trumps their humanity. Governor Cuomo needs to grant holiday wish. He needs to make medical marijuana available now before more lives are lost.
I'm a lawyer. My baby, Emma Rose, passed away. She was 74 days old, and she was diagnosed when she was 6 weeks old with Ohtahara syndrome, which is an early epilepsy disorder. She suffered hundreds and hundreds of seizures a day, and no one could know what these parents go through. To watch your child, it's like taking your child's finger and putting it into an electrical socket and having to watch them hours and hours a day seize to the point that she could no longer swallow, and we had to take her off a feeding tube. The doctors would come see us daily. We were at Columbia Presbyterian, one of the finest hospitals, and we heard about marijuana, and it was just not an option for us. If they could have stopped the seizures, there could have been a chance that at some point like many of these children, the brain can regenerate and there's hope. We were in touch with families. Joey Wertman is a little boy. He was upstate New York. His parents made the daring choice to move to Arizona, where he is now. And I spoke with his dad today, and he's seizure free. I said, "How do you like Arizona?" He said, "We want to come home." This is not the kind of marijuana we're all thinking of. This is medicine. Just like many medicines are derived from plants, this is a treatment where the harm is so much less than a lot of the medicines that they're offering that provide organ damage, and this is just, it's intolerable, it's unjust, it's cruel that these families are being deprived of medicine for their children, and we cannot tolerate this for even one more day. Governor Cuomo, I believe in you, and you have to give these children their medicine. This is cruel, and we will not stop today. We will not stop tomorrow. We will keep fighting for this until our children get their medicine.
Oliver is one of the kids who was in Albany regularly fighting to pass the Compassionate Care Act. With many of the families here, they were up in Albany fighting to pass this law. The law is now passed. It's the law of the land, and yet they still do not have access to the medicine that they need. Katie?
Hi, my name is Katie Miller and I'm 20 years old. My younger brother Oliver is 15 and suffers from refractory seizures as a result of his brainstem injury. Medical marijuana can help his seizures. Have you ever seen a seizure? Let me tell you what they look like. I come home from work and Oliver's sitting up in his play area, bright-eyed and happy. On my way over to say hello to him, he gets flung violently onto his back and slams his head onto the floor. By the time I've reached him, he's flailing uncontrollably, turning red and making noises that sound like he's grasping for air. I'll yell out for my mom so she can grab his oxygen or his rescue meds. The only thing we can do is wait for the seizure to end and tell him that he'll be okay, even if we don't know that. This happens sometimes more than once a day. Afterwards, the bright-eyed and happy Oliver that I came home to is gone. The rescue meds make him lethargic and disoriented. He's exhausted and confused, and so am I. I have an older sister, Melanie. She passed away when I was 3 years old from a very rare genetic disease. She was 7 years old. I can only imagine how medical marijuana could have eased her pain before the end of her life. I've already lost one sibling, and I shouldn't have to lose another. I don't understand how an outdated stigma about marijuana is what's delaying my brother from getting him the medicine he needs to survive. If this plant were found in the wild tomorrow, scientists discovered how many people it could really help, we'd be cutting down entire forests to harvest it. But it's not out in the wild. It's here in our country, being grown and researched and perfected. It's almost 2015 and I live in New York, in the United States. Why is my brother being denied medication? It's not just sick people who are being affected by this. These people and these children have families. They have mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters who have to watch them suffer and feel helpless that they can't do anything about it. I'm 20 years old. I have work and tests to study for and fights with my friends. And on top of all of the stresses that come with being a moody young girl, I have to worry every single day if my brother will stay alive long enough to see a world where people are no longer denied medication. I've always been really proud of the fact that I'm a New Yorker. I'm a millennial and my vote is important. After all, you are all voting for my future. New York should want me to be proud of where I come from. And I was so much prouder when the law got passed that was supposed to have helped my brother. But until the state can give him the help he desperately needs and deserves, I don't know if I still feel the same way.
When do we want Cuomo to take action? Now! Are we tired of waiting? Yes! It's the holiday season. Should anybody go through it without their family with them at their side? Not in a hospital, but in their home? Should anybody face that? No! Do we want this medicine delivered now? Yes! Are we tired of waiting when 23 states across the country have passed medical marijuana? 4 states have legalized marijuana. This is being done in the U.S., in Canada, around the world. Should New York wait any longer? No! Thank you all so much for coming out. We know it's cold.